Daniel Jones. Did you see that game? 28-6 they lost. Minnesota Vikings. I don't know what is up with Daniel Jones. I can't believe it. I don't get it. Did
I
you
don't
watch?
understand how the Giants like paid him. It's
I,
like the
I
craziest thing ever. It's like, did they think that, like, first of all, they reached to draft him,
yeah.
and then they're reaching to pay him,
Yep.
and like they're just like, not only are they have they did they make a bad decision to start with, they then doubled down on that bad decision
Yep.
for what?
What do you mean? Double? What do you say that again?
Like they made the bad decision to start with by drafting him, and then they
Yeah,
doubled down on it. Like it didn't work.
I agree. And
He's
then
not.
you paid him too.
I mean, he had that. What was it? 2 years ago that the Giants were like after Dayball took over. Like
so
was that
so
last year or this year
So it was two
or 2
years
years ago?
ago. 2 years ago, Dable
And they
had
had to
that
find.
they had that good year and they beat the Vikings in the playoffs in the wild card round. And then that's when everyone was like, "Oh, Daniel Jones looked really good." And then that's when the Giants paid him in that offseason, and he hasn't looked good since. Now, obviously, he tore his ACL last year, but he has been terrible. I
Yeah,
mean, I think the Giants they set themselves back even further when they paid him because they were looking they were like, oh, like the Giants maybe they could compete for a wild card or they could be somewhat relevant in the 500 pack. They look like arguably the worst team in the NFL next to the Panthers. I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand. I think the Daniel Jones experiment is over in New York. I think you're going to have to ride this season out. And Joe Shane and Brian Dable might actually get fired because if this continues as this keeps up here, you were the one that paid for Daniel Jones and you vouched for him saying he's our quarterback going forward. The Giants need a new quarterback coming up for next year. They'll be in the draft for sure because there's no way he's the starter next year. You can't, especially in the New York media. He has been lit up like a Christmas tree. Fans were burning his jersey. I think the Daniel Jones experiment is over in New York.
Yeah.
Did you know Daniel Jones has more pick six than touchdown passes since signing his $160 million deal?
That's crazy. I saw that. That is sad.
I can't believe it. I feel for Giants fans because man, I mean, they haven't been good since the Super Bowls. I mean, they weren't amazing then, but they have had no luck. You don't want to sign Saquon Barkley. He goes to your division rival, the Eagles, and he absolutely balls out in Week 1, and you don't want to pay him, and you pay Daniel Jones, and then you go and pay Brian Burns. You trade for Brian Burns. You give him basically $30 million a year, and you draft Malik Neighbors. Oh man, I would hate to be a Giants fan right now. They look like arguably the worst team in the NFL.